Hey, I'm CC Summers. Welcome to YASS or Pass 2. The first game was fucking hilarious, and I am so excited that there is another game. I am ready to dive back into this world.
Congratulations, human. You have been forcibly given an amazing opportunity to participate in the hottest interdimensional speed dating show in 8 different realities.
Congrats. Oh my god, remember properly restrain contestant during consent harvesting.
You probably have a lot of questions, so let me take a moment to address the most common ones humans like you often have in this situation. Have I been kidnapped? Yes. Are there fabulous prizes? No. Will I ever see my loved ones again? Most likely. Can I have some water? No. Are you going to kill me? Not intentionally.
Well, as long as it's not intentional.
So, contestant, please tell us your name.
Stupid jerkwad contestant! It's just CC.
That is a dumb name. Now, human. Safety first is something we enjoy saying and sometimes practicing. Please pay attention to the following risks of interdimensional dating.
Oh my fucking god, it's been like, what, 30 seconds? And I am all the way in. I am so excited.
Participating in this game show may expose you to what will be referred to as exotic radicals, elements and effects that are antithetical to your existence. This may include, but isn't limited to, and questioning your sexuality. We encourage you to go into this with an open mind.
Oh no!
But we do understand not everyone will be comfortable with this situation. As such, please tell us if you consent or do not consent to being a contestant. Please note, any action will be taken as consent. Refusing to act to avoid giving consent will also be considered giving consent, as consciously choosing not to do something is, in itself, an action, and any action will be taken as consent. Thank you for giving consent and voiding all liability for the studio. Let's get you into that maximum security.
Hang on. What the fuck? I didn't sign anything. I didn't sign anything. Contestant pacification gas. Oh my god. No one is coming to save you. Play along or else. We hate the contestant. You still suck. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond. Welcome to the most popular interdimensional dating show in 8 different realities. YASS or Pass! Please welcome to the stage. He is the Pharaoh of the Phallus. Punch me in the fucking throat, King. Give it up for your host, Bottomstone Tabitha. I'm sorry. I can't. Okay. Choke me out with your thighs, goddess.
Oh, yes.
Eros Magnum.
Oh, yes.
And Candy Carnal. Oh my god, she's so strong. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to all our lovely viewers from all dimensions of every spectrum. Mwah. Welcome to YASS or Pass, the show where we gather contestants from all over the fabric of reality to have them try their hands, claws, limbs, tendrils, and appendages beyond description at finding their perfect forever partner. I am your hostess, Candy Carnal, and I am your host, Eros Magnum. Everyone, let's give a warm welcome to the contestant. Good evening, contestant. How are you feeling tonight? Oh, just look at them shivering in anticipation. I can tell they're delighted, Eros. That is the face of delight. Fantastic, Candy! Now before the show starts, we're going to have our contestant fill out a short questionnaire so that we can get nice and intimate with them and their pathetic little desires. Contestant, be a lamb and quickly fill this out while we talk to this ravishing audience about one of our sponsors for tonight. Once you've finished, we can move on with the game.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Mrs. Hex's Ice Creams, the frozen treat that legally can't be classified as alive. We have all your favorite flavors: terminal tangerine, sanguineous strawberry, totally normal chocolate, the salty tears of an inconsolable child, cursed cookies and cream, and maledict mango. Come and get it. So good. Mrs. Hex, the only treat that wishes for death.
Time's up. I got to answer so many. Contestant, if you could just insert that questionnaire into the slot in your booth for us. Beautiful. Now let's explain the rules to our captive contestant and our adoring audience. Contestant, tonight you're going to be tempted with a gorgeous gathering of potential partners. But there's a catch. You won't get to see or hear your potential partner until you agree to go on a mandatory date with them. As always, our red flags will be enforcing this contract quite passionately. They do love a good meet cute, don't they? They really do. Oh, but don't despair. Our cowering little contestant, you won't be going in blind. All of our participants have completed an exhaustive personality test and psychoanalysis by a panel of behavioral specialists, relationship experts, and occult practitioners. Just because they completed these tests does not mean that they won't accept people who maybe aren't the most sane, that have my mental and physical well-being in mind. This comprehensive personality package has been further refined into 7 simple questions using an incredibly advanced AI algorithm that we definitely fully understand. You'll get to see these 7 answers for each partner before making your choice to YASS or pass. So, contestant, are you ready to play? Will you? It's gonna be yes every time, every fucking time. Let me smash. Shall we get comfortable, Candy? I encourage it, Eros. Our first potential partner is Lucy. Lucy is a previous contestant who managed to break out of holding during the show and went on a violent rampage in the studio with a baseball bat. The spicy little thing. We managed to bring her in, but the audience was so thrilled by her antics that we just had to keep her in the show. Her hobbies are roller skating, activism, and general hooliganism. She manages to escape every week now, and the crowds just love watching her wage a personal, and rather violent, war against our executives, alongside her pet rat, Sneakers. Lucy is looking for someone who knows self-defense and can help, quote, smash the heads of those corpo fuckers against the concrete. Fantastic. So, contestant, will you yes or pass on Lucy? Okay, I mean, obviously, yes. We're gonna fucking smash corpo heads against the concrete. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Looks like Lucy got a new recruit for her revolution, which now consists of herself, a rat, and our stupidly desperate contestant who just admitted to premeditated violence on multiple cameras with millions of witnesses. They'll both be tossed into holding, where they can enjoy a romantic incarceration until they either escape or management figures out a better way to monetize them. Contestant, you have chosen to go on a date with Lucy. The floor of your booth slides open and you're blinded by flashing neon lights and a barrage of electronic beeps, boops, and whomps. As you slide down the hard plastic tunnel, chrome bumpers bash into your body, knocking you around like a pinball. One gets a solid hit to your ribs, and over the cracking of bone, you hear a heavily compressed 100 points screamed through a blown-out speaker. Your shoulder dislocates as you catch on an angle of steel. Your vision explodes into stars as a solid iron ball crashes into your face. 200 points. Your leg snaps backwards as a bumper redirects you violently. Oh my God. 300 points. Your jaw is nearly torn off as your chin catches on a chrome corner. 400 points. Triple point madness. Your tongue flaps in the air as you fall limply through the emptiness. As you fade entirely. New high score! You land in a flimsy, irritatingly sticky aluminum chair with a loud clang. Meat and not meat. As you gain your bearings, you smell the faint scent of microwaved fish. You're sitting in a folding metal chair in a cramped and poorly maintained corporate break room. The smell is coming from a microwave coated in a thick sludge of food residue that has been repeatedly scorched into a dense crust. The coffee pot is completely empty, with a passive-aggressive note asking readers to refill the joe crumpled nearby. In one corner sits one of the little creatures you've seen running around, watching something on a phone with the volume blasting. They're chewing on something loudly. They ignore you entirely. A crumpled-up piece of paper hits the back of your head. As you look back, you see. Wow, you said yes, huh? Totes flattering. Hey, super quick question. Yes. Smash. Lucy is sitting on top of some shelves, holding a lighter up to a smoke detector. You know how to do a chokehold? 'Cause they're gonna get really mad at us in a second. Water explodes from sprinklers in the roof as a fire alarm begins blaring. The creature that was eating lets out a string of rather creative profanity before pulling a lever marked "Call Security." Don't I have, broken fucking ribs and a broken leg at this point? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? I can't move. What am I gonna do? Why is that flashing? Did you see that? You see that? What did that do? Anarchy in the street, riots in the sheets. Oh, yeah. Look at me doing my chokehold. Would you like to make a different choice? Why is it glitching out like that? Yes. Yes, I would. Yes or pass? I'm gonna pass. Sorry, Lucy. What a shame. Looks like Lucy won't be getting reinforcements as our contestant has passed on helping the rebellion. A surprisingly clever move for our contestant, who has decided that standing up for the little guy and showing courage is meant for people with a backbone and principles. Exactly. I'm just a little slut with weak morals and an even weaker spine. But they opted to be the type of contestant our executives love to see. Compliant. Well, we'll make good use of Lucy in future shows and good use of our contestant now. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Dewy, the head librarian of the vaults of Galator and the last remaining survivor of their civilization after it was devoured by Garkalshaboth for their hubris. Oh no! Name. Xxiraxx. Gender, they, them. Hobbies, reading, growing plants. Favorite food, gripples. Favorite animal, sorganes. Favorite kink, do I have to answer this? Something interesting, I've created 13 new species of tea. Well, fancy. Dewy is now the steward of knowledge, both forbidden and forgotten, and is looking for someone who can share some quiet moments drifting in the desolate nebula that was their solar system. They enjoy a hot cup of tea and snuggling under a blanket with a good book while they watch creation dip into the ever-expanding maw of the Star Eater. Sounds like a lovely evening to me, but does it sound lovely to the contestant? No, it doesn't. It sounds existentially terrifying. I don't know if I'm ready for this. But you know what? We're sticking to our guns. We're gonna fucking We're gonna smash. We're gonna figure out what the fuck ripples are, I guess. Let's go, Dewy. And it's a solid YASS from the contestant. They have chosen to spend their remaining days in the vaults of Galator, or as the rest of us colloquially know it, the tainted archives, the shunned tome pile, the better left forgotten. I mean, you could have said that. As everyone knows, once you set foot in the vaults, the hunger of Xxiraxx prevents you from ever leaving. Yay, for me! Our contestant will never see or interact with anyone else but Dewy for the remainder of their days. I hope we like each other. While the archives have an unprecedented amount of tomes, books, scrolls, tablets, and tapestries to tell a story, eventually they will run out of new things to experience, with the only changes being the steady descent into oblivion. But don't worry, folks, there's hope for them yet, because eventually they'll die. Absorbed by the astral tendrils of Xxiraxx, decimated into nothing but a mist of atoms, to be precise. Contestant, you have chosen to go on a date with Dewy. I mean, I probably would have chosen differently if I had known all this. The floor of your booth slides open and you fall into a tunnel lined with old, dry parchment. You slide through leather tomes, wax-stained scrolls, and crash through delicate crystal pots filled with ink. It blinds you. It splashes onto your tongue, a sticky bitterness invading your mouth. You try to spit, but more floods in. You feel your skin crinkle and split like aged paper. You feel your bones crack like new binding. Your organs weep into a jelly, darkening to a deep crimson ink, seeping from your fingertips, your toes, your eyes. Your skull sags inward. Words spew from your mouth, 1,000 letters written with your rendered meat. As your stomach tears and explodes outwards, you read entrails, organs, flesh, blood, bones, all written in elegant script. You land on a creaking wooden floor covered in lush carpets, the scent of wax, dust, and the type of quiet only made by shelves upon shelves of densely packed paper. This is look. What'd that do? What do? Also, can I point out that that cookbook says how to serve man, and I don't know if it means like how to serve man or how to serve man. Like, is he eaten or is he being eaten? Either way, it seems like Dewy is a gourmet chef. The ceiling stretches high above you, motes of dust drifting lazily in the flickering lights. A thorned idol crouches in front of you, resting on top of a series of stone cubes. Beyond, a totem grins at you, and beyond that, mountains of artifacts and carvings, rows upon rows of shelves, sagging under the weight of millions of tomes, scrolls, books, and journals. Ropes of web and cords of glittering metal stretch and sag between the shelves and piles of chests and boxes. Almost everything looks like it hasn't been touched or even looked at for centuries. Yet a candle above you glows. Stalactites of melted wax running down an iron holder shows that someone is maintaining the library as best as they can. In fact, looking closer at your surroundings, everything seems to show signs of jury-rigged repair work, all in various stages of failing to prevent the decay. You hear muffled footsteps behind you, and as you turn, Bah! Whoa, hi. Hey? What's going on? How did you get in here? Dewy adjusts their large brass glasses with one hand, carefully lifting the book off their horns and checking it for damage. They are blushing furiously. Aw, they're so cute! Wait, so you picked me? Thanks. I hope you're not disappointed. Never disappointed with you, Dewy. Ah, cute. Oh, shit, is that a new dude? Am I crazy? I don't know. Let's make another choice. Yes or pass on Dewy? We gotta pass. You're too cute for me, Dewy. I'm not good enough for you. Idyllic, cozy, calm. These core tenets of what everyone would call a super chill vibe made our contestant wither and flee. Now, I'm not a licensed therapist, but I feel confident that this shows an abnormal lack of personal ego and stunted emotional growth from our contestant. You are not wrong. These are red flags for anyone looking at our contestant as a potential romance partner. Or a friend. Or even a casual business partner. I'd say we're all disappointed in them, but let's be real, none of us had high expectations. In the meantime, let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Brockletini. We're not really sure how Brockletini even got into the show. We found him in the back spiking the coffee with protein powder. Brockletini bicepius. Gender, dude. Hobbies, lifting, hefting, raising, elevating, boosting. Favorite food, tacos. Fuck yeah. Let's go, Brockletini. You and me, let's do this. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to know. I don't want to know nothing else. But whatever, right? No pun intended when we say we just needed a bit more meat for the grinder, you know? He describes himself as absolutely swole and able to lift. He did not specify what he could lift. He then spent the next 30 minutes talking about his favorite breakfast sandwich joint. Though we did find out he's the head of a local fraternity called the Big Boys Club, and also had a bit part on the popular TV day drama The Chiseled and the Sexified. So, contestant, will you YASS or pass on Brockletini? We're gonna YASS and we're gonna eat tacos for the rest of our fucking lives. The siren call of the gym bro has lured yet another victim to their demise, as our contestant has decided that they too would like to lift. I really don't, though. I'm just here for the tacos. Not that they'll succeed, just looking over their physique. If someone asked me what words spring to mind, I would say disappointing, unimpressive, and cheerless. That's me, baby! I hope you enjoy protein shakes, contestant, as you have chosen to go on a date with Brockletini. I don't particularly care for protein shakes. The floor of your booth slides open, and a cloud of steam and the strong odors of sweat and disinfectant envelop you as your body falls through. You slide down a tunnel stitched to faux leather, the clanging of metal on metal around you. Somewhere in the haze, you hear someone shout aggressive encouragement. The sound of ropes snapping and twisting, and your body is suddenly compressed under a crushing pressure. You can feel your ribs creak, sweat stings your eyes, your muscles ache and scream under the force as you try to push back, straining to breathe. Your sternum cracks and splinters. Still, it pushes. Your muscles begin to rupture, veins scattering around like silly string across the leather, your own blood lubricating the passage down. You try to scream, but your lungs burst and pop like balloons. You skid across a cold concrete floor, coming to a stop in front of a wall-sized mirror. You hear the constant whir of ceiling fans high above you and dry hum of fluorescent lights. The ocean of machines and contraptions spread out in front of you. A heavily used punching bag sways gently in the corner. I don't like that there's things with spikes here. Why is there so many things with spikes on them? You don't recognize any of the machines, and glancing at their labels is less than helpful. In fact, you're even more confused than if you hadn't looked at the instructions. The Jack Dipper, the Clown Punt, the Drill Salam, the Incarcerator, the Brutal Diva, the Trapezoidal Inverse Cling, what appears to be just a heavily lubricated climbing rope. There are rows upon rows of brightly hued tank tops that look like they'd barely cover anything, jugs of supplements, and what can only be described as ingots of solid protein. As your eyes linger on a device called only The Threat, with instructions that just say, insert, a powerfully positive and booming voice erupts behind you. Noise, 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 noise! Cardio sliding on day one, you got passion, dude! You're lifted to your feet by strong hands, really strong hands. You hear what sounds like leather twisting and creaking. As you turn around, sigh, dude. Oh, sorry. While I've always felt dude is a pretty gender-neutral term, I shouldn't assume. Working on that self-improvement is a journey, you know? I mean, honestly, same. I use dude for everything, and I need to get better about that. Brockletini is currently flexing with all of his might, muscles creaking like ropes being twisted. His eyes sink into their sockets, briefly disappearing from sight. You smell taco sauce? Hell yeah, that's why I'm here. Let's do this. You hungry? I'm hungry. You hungry? I know some places. Just let me know if you've got a restricted diet or anything. But if you know a place, we can go there. Aw, Brockletini's so nice. Let's do this. Let's go eat some fucking... Yes, I love my sweatband. Bros being hoes. I fucking love this game. Oh wait, I didn't see the blinky thing. No, I need to go back. I have to go back. Okay, where's my blinky thing? You let me know if you see something blinking. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Oh no, what if I miss it? I don't know if this level has one. I hope that one didn't have one. Alright, bye Brockletini. Our contestant has passed on Brockletini, the head of the Big Boys Club, one of the most impressive world charities out there. Everyone loves these guys. It was scientifically proven that they only benefit existence. Gorm himself wouldn't eat these guys. And this noodle arm bitch just said, "Fuck you, universe," in a horrible display of misplaced arrogance. Deplorable, but we're stuck with them for the rest of the show. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Kila'sshra. The star serpent of the cosmos, Kila'sshra, has been uncoiling from the black hole that they formed from and is beginning their divine quest of bringing life to all existence. Hobbies gardening mostly, but I also enjoy swimming. I also love swimming. Citrus fruits, oranges, and limes. All right. Favorite animal? Cows? Aw. I haven't experimented as much as I'd like. Maybe you have some suggestions? Oh. My real form is about 4 light years long and has a diameter equal to Sol. Damn! That is, of course, to counterbalance their dread sibling, the Void Spider, as it burns through reality. A consummate pacifist who loves working in the garden, Kila'sshra has manifested an avatar in order to find a patient and loving partner. This is to make sure they maintain a physical connection with the dimension that they love so much, despite the horrors of reality that are continuously inflicted on their all-knowing mind. So, contestant, will you yeah, we're gonna yes. We're gonna yes. Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh, yes. Our contestant has decided to try and be the grounding link between a deity of life and everyone else. They definitely seem to think they're up to the challenge. That misplaced confidence could be adorable, though in this case, the balance of the cosmos is on the line. And if these 4 rounds are any indication on the character of our contestant, I can say with optimism, they're gonna fuck this up and we get to pay the price. Contestant, you have chosen Kila'sshra. Alright, let's fucking put a lot of pressure on ourselves. The floor of your booth slides open and you slip into 1,000 vines made of warm light. Soft leaves and pine needles rush past as you slide across the plants in gentle sweeping turns. A plump, ripe peach lands in your lap, its sweet scent swirling around you. The scents of 1,000 flowers and fruits rush by, brilliant sunlight peeking through the vegetation. A sudden dip, a moment of shining blindness. You are gently plopped onto soft clover, bathed in sunlight as a pleasant breeze sweeps over you. That one was very pleasant. Thank you. And also, look at that. A thingy. In front of you sits a small rustic cabin. Vines and ivy climb up the sides. The cabin is carved beautifully, if a bit simply. You crunch across gravel, approaching the short wooden fence at the top of the slope. For miles, you can see fields bursting with life. Rows of trees stand in massive orchards, branches hanging low with 1,000 different fruits. Rolling fields of grain and vegetables disappear into the horizon. Bordering everything are high trees, a massive old-growth forest. Everything is bursting with life, with growth and fertility. You hear the chittering of small animals playing in the deep grass around you. Then the sliding of scales on dirt, the rasp of dried grass, and an exhausted but proud sigh from behind you. Time for a breather. Hey! Kila'sshra is returning from the field, scales covered in dirt and stray bits of straw. Oh? Oh. Oh! You chose... Oh my, I must look a state. Would you like to come in? I have tea. Yes, please. Thank you. Ah! I'm not much of a gardener, though, so I'm gonna be pretty useless to them, but I'm sure gonna have it good. It is different. Okay, we have 2 more to find. All right. We're gonna pass. Bye, girl. Honestly, this is clearly for the best. Our contestant has realized that being the emotional anchor for a cosmic entity is just too much responsibility for their tiny, atrophied heart to handle. Too much of a burden for their weak, pitiful mind to cope with. Responsibilities that they confess are too great for their thin, shivering shoulders to carry. Also, they are just generally demoralizing to look at, regardless of your personal standards of beauty. This withered little raisin would probably be more emotionally prepared to handle the needs of a cactus, and even that's being charitable. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Lastoria. What the fuck is that? The observatory of flesh within the ash desert, Lastoria is technically both a place and several hundred individuals. The shackled minds of the astral scholars merged and bled into a single mass when an attempt to split the veil between dimensions was disrupted by a poorly timed solar eclipse. This highly educated mass of brains, eyes, teeth, livers, spleens, stomachs, hearts, kidneys, and various other bits of meat that I don't want to describe, spends its days stargazing and star-consuming and generally doing a lot of things with stars that fall into sight. Lastoria is looking for an enlightened partner who can really broaden their horizons and show them what lies beyond their planetary prison. Literally. By carrying a tumor connected to the host mass into the stars so that they can subsume everything into their synapse archives. This sounds fucking horrifying. I don't want it. I don't. Okay. Oh, we're gonna get eaten. We're gonna get eaten and consumed. The contestant is either desperate or just the worst kind of depraved to say yes here. Lastoria is just a large amalgamation of flesh and organs that is barely holding on to sapience. I imagine this is because the contestant has always wanted to have sexual relations with a pulsing pile of lukewarm beef stroganoff. Yeah, that's it. Yep. You got me. Love sticking my dick in soup. We don't judge, normally, to each their own. We don't like to yuck someone's yum. But this one, we are definitely seeing a new form of nauseating low. And I've seen a contestant try to make it work with a calculator. Calculator. I loved that calculator. And all because our contestant said yes to Lastoria. The floor of your booth slides open and your legs are enveloped in the fleshy mouth. Teeth scrape against your clothes as a gigantic tongue begins to push you down the funnel of meat and gore. As you slip deeper and deeper into the pit-filled darkness, the teeth begin to chew and grind. Your limbs are torn apart. Your bones splinter. Your organs pop between the enamel. As your screams gargle into the flesh and mucus around you, your vision darkens. Sounds. I hate it. And you open them again to a nightmare. Your nostrils fill with the scent of festering wounds, and you immediately gag. Long, thick tubes of flesh drape across the floor. Everything seethes and churns with a rhythmic pulse into the damp air. Your feet sink into the meat beneath you. Cold pools of milky fluid gather around your ankles, seeping through your shoes, your socks. Stop it, I can only get so erect. As you take one slippery step forward, you hear the squelch and popping of snot and pus. A sphincter in the ceiling above you opens and rains down half-digested stuff. There's light ahead and a figure silhouetted within. You take another step forward, your foot lifting and snapping veins that had coiled around your leg. They bleed a viscous, yellowish ooze. You're close to puking, the smell and sickly warmth causing your vision to blur. Another step. Something jabs into your leg, causing you to yelp in pain. You briefly see a long tendril with a thick, hollow needle retract beneath the gore around you. Your head feels fuzzy, your limbs start to go limp, your legs shaky. Everything begins to swim in a green hue as you struggle to maintain your balance. You begin to drool uncontrollably as you fall to your knees. Your nose begins to run. Your breathing becomes labored. The sound of something approaching you. Fertile. Preparations begun. We see potential. Thick, organic tubes connect the creature in front of you with a heavy, pulsing sac growing out of its back. It drips thick sludge from every orifice. You topple over face down into the mush beneath your feet as your consciousness fades. Incubation, potential, we shall grow within. I mean, not the worst date I've been on. How boring. Our contestant decided against joining the upper echelons of the scholarly world and rubbing shoulders with the intellectual elite, and instead decided to shackle themselves to the ignorance and naivety of the past. Everyone knows intelligence is sexy, but our befuddled little contestant decided that thick brain energy is not for them. No, I will truly hard pass here. They're more of a shriveled cerebrum, a dried cortex, a barren lobe, a flaccid neuron type of contestant, it seems. But don't worry, brains aren't everything. You're also lacking in the physical department as well, so cheer up. You can literally only improve from here. Yay! Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Countess Tabitha. Tabitha Blackmorrow. Stargazing, fencing, dancing, and crushing those who would stand against my rise to glory. Favorite kink? Biting. Same. Tabitha is a fallen princess of Xxiraxx, a desolate, bleak island that only appears on maps drawn by mad sailors. She describes herself as a bit of a night owl who enjoys going out for a bite to drink and a red wine enthusiast. After an unfortunate incident that resulted in her father being stabbed 73 times, and then burned to ash and dust, and then turned into a fine paste mixed with slag to forge a ball of iron, that was then dropped into the ocean on a moonless night, which Tabitha emphasized she had absolutely nothing to do with and is sincerely heartbroken about, Countess Tabitha has become the reigning power of the small court of nobility that runs Xxiraxx, and is looking for a devoted outsider to become her personal bodyguard and consort. I can't fight to save my own life, So, she's just gonna eat me. She says an outsider's perspective is necessary to help add some new blood to the aging island, which has been a bit lifeless lately. She's gonna fucking eat me. She's gonna eat me. Alright, fine, but she's just gonna fucking eat me. Well, contestant, you're either terrible at picking up on subtext and context clues, or you're one of those types. Either way, what little respect I had scraped together for you has been snuffed out. But I look forward to seeing how you handle the cutthroat political world of nobility. My money's on the cutthroat part, personally. Contestant, you have chosen to go on a date with Countess Tabitha. The floor of your booth slides open, and with barely a moment to take a breath, you drop with a thick splash into the blood-filled tube beneath. You try to hold out as you sink deeper and deeper, as if being pulled down by unseen hands. The pressure builds, the blood seeps into your ears, up your nose, forcing its way through your lips, flooding between your clenched teeth. You can feel it swirl beneath your eyelids. It begins to push down your throat into your skull. It fills your chest like a frigid syrup being pumped into you. You can't get air to scream. You can't see. You can't feel. You are dumped onto a frigid black stone floor, your lungs screaming as you take a gasping breath and your eyes open. You hear the patter of rain on glass. For a brief moment, everything is lit up by a bolt of lightning. A few seconds later, a muffled clap of thunder. The room is a scene of battle. Old bloodstains cover the walls and floors. A sword of some kind is stabbed through the wood-paneled floor. The curtains around the windows are shredded. Arrows stick out from the wall posts. A spear stands embedded in the wall between two large oil paintings with heavy frames. The right shows a man and what appears to be his daughter. At first, you get the distinct feeling that you're looking at royalty. But they seem half feral. A pale violet hue as another clap of thunder illuminates the painting again. Your eyes shift to the left painting. A large something is impaling an angelic being with a spear made of bones. You feel the same predatory air you felt around the other painting. You suddenly become aware that the two paintings are portraits of the same creature, but you can't quite tell if it's the man or the young girl. So, you are to be my new consort? Something moves, a silent flutter of shadows in the corner of your eye, but you saw it as you spin on your heels. Yes. I was told there was to be eating involved. No need to stand so far away, my delight. Come closer, that we may get to know each other more intimately. I'm gonna fucking die. But you know what? I'm not mad at it. Countess Tabitha swirls her goblet slowly, glimmering eyes confidently roaming your body, like a chef appraising a cut of meat. She smiles slowly. I believe you and I find many mutual benefits to a partnership, but I wouldn't ask you to simply believe me. How would you like a taste? Girl. See? I told you she was gonna fucking eat me. Oh, darn. I don't want to, but... Bye, Tabitha. A romantic twilight of passion, decadence, and intrigue just doesn't seem to do it for our contestant, who has passed on Countess Tabitha. Feeling a little anemic there? Weak in the knees? Flop sweating? Well, some people just prefer to have boring, sedate, pitiful, bland, withered gray lives. While others are out thriving and living their best lives, you're the one sitting on the sofa, wondering if you have enough self-respect to not eat the chips you just dropped on the floor. I don't, and you know why? Because my dogs eat it first. That's why I have them. And I think everyone here knows that this contestant definitely extends the 5-second rule to more of an up to 3-hour rule. Listen. I don't need all this. I just gave up true love so that I can play the rest of the game all the way through, so I'm feeling a little bit tender right now. One lucky member will be choke-slammed. Eros might look at you. And we've reached the halfway point of the show. That's right, Eros. Our contestant has passed on 6 amazing partners who had so much potential. Like a pathetic little coward, they sat in their booth and ignored the chance at a rewarding and fulfilling relationship. But don't worry, folks. They still have another 7 potential partners to get through. Will they find true love? I already fucking did. Or will they disappoint us again and again? I know I'm not getting my hopes up, that's for sure. You're so right, Candy. This contestant is particularly spineless, and we can only assume is due to an understandable lack of confidence. I mean, if you looked and acted the way they do, you'd probably hate yourself and wouldn't deserve to be happy either. Stop. Good thing none of us are them. While we wait for the contestant to develop a backbone and some initiative, let's take a quick break and hear from another of our delightful sponsors.
Dr. Beat's Young Beef Bulge. It's back, bitches. Our famous 13 meat blend, now with added sodium clusters for maximum flavor assault. Our Young Beef Mulch is specially formulated meat, absurdly tender and tasty. How do we do it? Maximum tactical, full loadout, high performance, diesel violence. Where do we source our meat? Your mom, that's where. You made me process this dick. What are you? A goddamn hippie who wants animals to not suffer? We the beef. Beef Bulge, it's for alpha!
Oh my god, where do we source it? Your mom. I'm done. I'm done. Your booth has been opened. What does that mean? Oh, do I run? Run! Would you give of yourself? Yeah, let's do it, man. You seem trustworthy. Let's do it. Will you let me love you? Yeah, absolutely. Find me. Follow them. It will be easy. Yeah? Open the door. Become the 6th. The 6th what? Give the dowry. 5 have left gifts. Become the 6th. Become. What? Excuse me, I was on the path to becoming the 6th. Our next potential partner is Xxiraxx. Hey, hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Weren't you in the first game? A newcomer in this dimension, but a return contestant from 4 other dimensions. They who sleep in the static are once again taking a stab at love. I fucking knew it. I knew I've seen you before. Hobbies, skinny dipping in the noise between. Favorite food, cookies. There's a delightful little critter from the Q14A that I'm quite fond of called a Smeagast. Xxiraxx is looking for a partner who can help her relax from running her church, the pentagram of white noise, and bring a bit of chaos to her life. While she isn't working on her mission of devouring autonomy, Xxiraxx likes to unwind with movies, popcorn, and a strong drink of molten salt. Ew. Classy. I think we can all relate to that. Extra points if the contestant can also handle voltages well above the capacities of a flesh-based heart. Probably can't. I've got a flesh-based heart. Alright, well, let's go get indoctrinated, baby. It's a YASS for Xxiraxx. The cataclysm of vibrance just got one step closer to completion, and we can all blame the contestant here for helping the apocalypse along. You're so welcome. Everyone take a good look. This is the person who decided that their pathetic genitals are more important than the continuation of reality. What a crap sack, right folks? Their reality may be garbage, their life may be pitiful and unfulfilling, their existence may be meaningless, hopeless, generally disappointing. Entirely devoid of purpose, a really big waste of space, time, resources, air. But the rest of us have very rich and fulfilling realities, and what we can only assume is a move motivated purely out of spite. This little bitch wants to end all that. Goddamn right I do, Candy, and you know why? Because I'm jealous of your abs. I can't get those. I eat too many tacos. I hate this contestant. Probably the most out of any contestant, and my hate peaked when they decided to date Xxiraxx. Then why have them on as a potential love interest? Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. The floor of your booth slides open and you briefly feel fuzzy, like your whole body is out of focus. I glance down and see you falling silently through a pixelated tube. Above me, a fragmented version of us screams and flickers. Oh, this is cool. You look up and we feel myself fracture and splinter into 1,000 different pixels and digital noise. You scream as your existence flickers. You erupt into a cloud of static above us. I watch our dissolution. We look down and see us falling silently. As they begin to look towards you, you feel your body catch up, like reality was lagging, and you see the seams in your form widen. You open your mouth to scream, and a harsh electronic distortion comes out. You look down as I die above, our body beginning to break as you look up at their dying form. You exist in parallel, dying, falling. Every time we look up, I see our death as you experience it again, looking down at the future, they waiting for your death. The rushing sound of wind becomes nothing but electronic noise. Your eyes flicker into neon blue, then blackness, then static. They erupt and pour your pixelated brain matter out in a glitchy pile of blood with a 2-dimensional sprite of viscera and a charming electronic boop. And still we look up and see your end before it occurs, and look down to make sure the future us sees my own passing. It becomes harder and harder to tell when this is happening, all at once or after the other, as my heart gives you the final error message in our brain. You're thrown across a smoothly polished chrome floor. As you slowly stand up, legs still shaking, tears still streaming down your face, the first thing you notice is the buzzing. A cold hum of millions of neon signs, a rainbow of flickering electricity. They stretch for miles into the sky, disappearing into a murky brown haze. You can see large shapes, like gigantic conduits or tendrils, stretching and swaying in the fog. All around you drift tiny pixelated squares. It almost looks like it's snowing. The ground is shiny chrome metal, slick and slippery, with thick rivets attaching perfectly square sheets together. You feel like everything is swaying, like it's not fully anchored to anything. On an elevated catwalk, you see a crowd of figures, all standing motionless. You can mistake them for humans if their eyes weren't glowing windows of static. All of them are staring at you. As you take a few steps, their eyes follow, but the figures never move, never even twitch. As if they had all frozen in place, the static snow gathers on top of them. Oh, delightful. Another little individual. And a willing one? Well, mostly. Xxiraxx steps out of one of the glowing billboards, a small floating thing leashed by a cable alongside her. Well, hey, how's it going? You remember me? Don't worry, dear. I promise this will be a pleasurable experience for both of us. It looks very pleasurable, for sure. And our contestant has passed on Xxiraxx. No accounting for taste, I suppose, as Xxiraxx is like an elegant 5-star dining experience, whereas our contestant is like a blown-out cheeseburger you'd find on the side of the freeway. Our road meal of a contestant is just too bottom of the barrel for a class act like Xxiraxx. I hope you're ashamed of yourself. We sure are ashamed of you. There's just no fucking winning. Either you're mad I joined the death cult, or you're mad I don't join the death cult. I cannot win. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Megathos. The last daughter of Typhon was found sleeping deep within a newly opened oceanic trench after a catastrophic earthquake rocked the Mediterranean. And let's just say she's none too pleased to see all the humans in her queendom. Megathos has begun a war against civilization as a whole, reclaiming the world for nature, one violent city beatdown at a time. She's searching for a partner who can act as her scion of monsters, a connecting voice between the deep mother of the abyss and her fringe cult of frenzied maniacs who have ingested the primordial oil from her abyssal womb. Someone's got to lead the blood orgies after all. Ooh. Alright, well fucking, you had me at blood orgies. Oh, baby! Our contestant has chosen to brave the depths of the ocean to awaken the heart of Megathos. This will make them a target for the other primordials who are awakening to challenge Megathos for the honor of obliterating society as we know it. They will spend the rest of their days wondering when the next frenzied zealot will try to kill them with a rusty gaff hook. And the answer will, of course, be every single day. Love that for me. Assuming they're able to maintain their sanity long enough to even realize the danger in the first place. Contestants, you have gone mad for Megathos. Let's do it. Blood orgy me up. The floor of your booth slides open and you fall into freezing salt water. Something wraps around your ankles and pulls you into the depths, your ears popping from the pressure. You're pulled deeper, deeper. You can no longer see your surroundings. You feel rushing water, the presence of something gigantic swimming around you, circling, stalking, hunting. It's unbearably cold, smotheringly dark. Your lungs cry out for air, but you can no longer hold your breath. A cloud of bubbles escapes your body as you try to gasp, your lungs filling with water. Your eyes burn as your body bloats and swells and rots and freezes. You can't see anything. You flail uselessly in the water, your clothes weighing every action down as you're pulled deeper and deeper. You feel your skull pound. You hear the tiniest crack of bone. And your head implodes from the pressure. You cough as you suddenly gulp in air, your gasp echoing off the rocks in the damp grotto. Soaked, but alive, you sit upright, disoriented. You're at the edge of a massive lake of glowing water. Heavy chains, each link larger than you, stretch into the cavern's heights, lost in shadows and dancing reflections. They sink deep into the pool, but you can't tell how far. The surface is too bright, blinding you as you try to see what the chains reach down to. There's a deep rumble. Something shifts in the cave mouth ahead of you. The sound of flesh sliding on stone, damp meat slapping into shadow puddles. Something titanic. Something ancient. Your abyssal matriarch. Nations in ruin. Giant monsters are absolutely wrecking our shit. Fuck, says one bystander. New cult on the rise. Leader named Scion of Monsters. Leader quoted, "Those tentacles awakened something in me." We probably have nothing to do with this. Fossil fuel tycoon quoted before getting absolutely stomped. You know, it's been fun ending civilizations, but I gotta see what my other options are, Megathos. So, sorry, but bye. Narrow-minded, spineless, and generally pretty meh in the looks department. And now we learn that the contestant doesn't even like the environment, refusing to assist Megathos in her noble quest. We try to capture quality contestants on this show, folks. Contestants with nuance, character, and depth. Contestants who really make you question what it means to enter a relationship, to fully embrace a soul that is different in trust and honesty. And instead, we seem to have grabbed an empty soul, a husk of a person, someone who threw away their dreams and aspirations and has decided to settle for adequate. Disgusting! Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Queen Sheba. Feel like we've also dated you, Queen Sheba. The first monarch of the Obsidian Vault is still imprisoned in the Tomb of Oblivion for the red sin of passion. But apparently she has recently managed to break one of the 100 seals and is no longer restricted to just astral projections. Delighted to feel physical sensations again, and also to be able to inflict vengeance on those who imprisoned her in the first place, Sheba is looking for a partner to help release 10,000 years of built-up tension and frustration. And also to operate the Gigaflayer when she locates those who dared to remove her from the throne. So, contestant, will you yes or pass on Queen Sheba? You know, I feel like in a lot of these situations, I'm less of a date or like a partner or whatever, and I'm just an accessory to murder. And I feel a little used. Not gonna lie. Oh yes, our contestant is at least capable of seeing a quality partner because Queen Sheba is nothing but top-tier goods. The misplaced confidence within our contestant that makes them think they're gonna be anything but a disappointment to a goddess. Well, that's another matter entirely. The contestant definitely has no sexual skills to speak of, little to no experience in romance, and generally underwhelming physical appearance, poor sense of fashion, and what we can only assume are terrible hygienic habits. Just look at that skin. Don't. But sure, you'll be fine courting a deity of seduction, violence, and carnal pleasures. Contestant, you have chosen to date Queen Sheba. The floor of your booth slides open and a rush of incense and spice surrounds you. You slide down a curtain of silk, enveloped in the softest material you've ever felt. Beneath the fabric, you feel hands gently guiding, supporting, pushing. A chorus of giggles and titters from 1,000 voices, soft and slightly muffled, accompanies you as the path winds. You feel so relaxed, so safe. You don't even mind when they disrobe you. You don't notice when your skin is gently pried open by sharply manicured and painted nails, when your meat is lovingly sloughed off the bone by the kisses of brightly hued lips. As your veins are neatly unraveled, as the nerves are pulled straight. You should. You know you need to care, but it's so kind, so compelling. You submit fully to the pain as your body is stripped and segmented, as the cartilage in your joints melts into small crystal containers and the bones pop out of place. Your eyelids are lifted, your eyes gently pulled from their sockets, and you see your own body laid bare in bits, organized by layer and function. A beautiful tapestry of everything you were, seeing every part of your form exposed. The inside, neon red and sticky in the humid heat, the outside pale and trembling as sweat beads upon the surface. You land on an overstuffed velvet cushion with tasteful but highly ornate golden tassels. I saw you. I see you. I got it. One left. Tapestries covered in geometric designs flutter in a dry, hot wind. Some books, well-weathered and falling apart, sit on a window. What you originally mistook as dust on closer inspection are actually small crystalline shapes, their edges glowing with wires of molten light. As you try to look outside to see where you are, your eyes tear up. You feel like you're looking into the sun. It doesn't take long before you're forced to look away. The scale and construction of the room suggest that it should also be lavishly decorated. The chair you've landed in is ornately carved, with heavy gilding all about. The cushion is violet silk with velvet weaving. Yet everything else around you is barren, sterile, only a bleached white dust occasionally swirling across the blasted sandstone. I do love it when my partner has good taste. And darling, you definitely have good taste for choosing me. Yeah. Your breath catches and your pulse quickens. You begin to sweat and your legs give out. I understand if you're nervous or anxious, love, but don't worry. I'm a very enthusiastic and hands-on teacher. Oh! We got absolutely wrecked. All right, one more. This blood and diesel one. And then, I don't know, because that's what we thought. There's no way our little contestant could even look Queen Sheba in the eyes. I'm rather impressed. I didn't expect this contestant to know their place so well. Good for you. Not to worry, contestant, I'm sure there's something out there that'll settle for you and all your drawbacks and shortcomings. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is the Monolith Protocol. What the fuck does that mean? MP is the top-of-the-line battle shell designed for prolonged activity in a hostile territory by Osiris weapons. They recently gained sapience, but avoided the typical rogue AI playbook of killing their creators, having only mildly injured one individual during its escape. Since then, MP has done a lot of soul-searching, and is looking to begin the next phase of their journey by finding a partner who can work with them on their path to self-actualization. Their partner should be capable of withstanding at least 12 Gs of force. Know the proper way to vent a coolant fire from a Void Scraper MK3 reactor. Yep, sure do know how to do all those things. Phew, good thing, too. And, of course, know how to completely dismantle a GBF 600 atrocity missile launcher for field service. We're gonna YASS, because I absolutely know how to dismantle an A3600 atrocity service thing with my bare hands, so... Our contestant has volunteered their body to the Monolith Protocol. It's wonderful seeing such a bond bloom between synthetics and organics, even when the organic leaves quite a bit to be desired. Just look at them. Ugh. Stop! Our pale and pathetic little contestant has chosen to date the Monolith Protocol. The floor of your booth slides open and you fall into a drab, olive-colored tube lined with warning labels and hazard signs. You slip through checkpoints of laser scanners and cameras. The crack of a gunshot, and you feel a stabbing pain in your stomach. You're bleeding heavily. Another gunshot, and a series of monitors flash by, the words "Good Patriot" strobing on the screens, grand music swelling on a cheap, blown-out speaker. An explosion goes off near your head, and you can hear nothing on your left side. Your eye popped by shrapnel leaks from this socket. I hate it. A hunk of metal is stabbed into your throat as your legs begin to wear down to the bone. Good Patriot. Another gunshot, and you struggle to breathe, your lungs refusing to inflate due to the puncture. Another chunk of metal is stabbed into your chest, embedded in the wound. Good Patriot. You scream, you cry, you rage, you howl. You claw at the tube as you feel your entrails drag behind you, unraveling from within. You feel the barrel of a gun shoved into your mouth, breaking through your teeth. You are no longer needed, soldier. You hear the click of the trigger. You land unceremoniously on a cold concrete floor. The sounds of machinery rumble all around you, surrounded by metal crates and heavy shipping containers stamped with serial numbers. You see the stocks of assault rifles sticking out from steel cabinets in front of you. A half-dismantled tank sits with wires snaking out of its olive-green hull. And all around, belts and belts and belts of ammunition, buckets of small-caliber bullets, racks of rounds bigger than your arm, rockets, grenades. A large metal pill has about 14 warnings on it. You recognize the nuclear symbol and a biohazard warning, but the rest you've never seen before. Empty brass covers the ground all around you, the overwhelming smell of gunpowder and oil swirling all around you. The sound of metal sliding against metal alerts you to a presence behind you. Threat evaluation, minimal, disengage, battle, protocols. As you spin around, you see bone-white steel overlaid over burning red circuitry, a fiery red lens whirling and focusing on you as it lowers the knife. You have chosen me. Parameters updated. Evaluation, the timing is not ideal. Then why sign up for it, the Monolith Protocol? Metal screeches from somewhere in the warehouse, like a door being torn open. You hear shouts, the thundering sounds of heavily armed people rushing in. Threat evaluation, extreme, release safety protocols, subroutine, civilian presence, GBF 600, disabled. Do not worry, I will protect you. Yeah, that's me. That's me down there. Shit, you know what? I forgot to look for blinky things. Blood and diesel, I bet. But did they use diesel? No, right? No. Diesel's for trucks. I'm still gonna go back and look, and then this is probably not there. And then we're just gonna continue with our lives, and it's fine. It wasn't there. I checked. All right, bye, Monolith Protocol. It was a very scary existence. Not up to the task, huh, contestant? Just can't handle that caliber of hardware. I understand. It can be intimidating when you see peak physical performance, especially peak synthetic performance. It can make folks feel inadequate, like they're not living up to their potential. Don't worry, everyone. You're all wonderful in your own ways. Except me. I can go fuck myself. Each of you is a delightful quilt of all your experiences, making you unique and beautiful in ways that aren't always easy to quantify. You matter. Always remember that. The contestant, on the other hand, really needs to put in more effort here. Just look at them. This is how you live? Look, I didn't think anyone could see me when I ate that entire pack of Oreos. So, I feel greasy just looking at you. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Veras Saric. Veras Saric. Yeah. One of the Burn Fae from the Slag Wild, Vera is looking for love and mayhem with a devoted, energetic partner. Aw, her favorite animal is dogs. Aw. Veras Saric spends their time rescuing hellhounds and rehabilitating them to find new homes, and also magma surfing the swells at Agony Peak. It does not seem like I can physically survive the atmosphere that Vera lives in, so that'll be fun for me. They recently moved to a vegetarian diet in their journey at self-improvement and would appreciate a partner who can do some culinary experimentation with them in the kitchen. What does culinary experimentation mean, though? Like, are we just using vegetables? Just like different combinations of vegetables? Or like, what are we cooking here? What an absolutely wholesome delight. You love to see folks improving themselves in healthy ways. Vera has also butchered and maimed over 1,000 descendants in the War Against Paradise, where she spent 50 years in the Gore Trench. Ah. During that time, she became known as the taker of organs and jaws. She admits this has given her a bit of a competitive streak. So, contestant, will you YASS or I'm gonna die. Just like with the Monolith Protocol, I'm not cut out for this. I am too soft. And our contestant has said yes to Veras Saric, hoping to improve yourself as well, hey contestant? How admirable. But you've got quite the mountain to climb. Probably several of them just looking at you. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're probably going to fail and remain the sniveling little creep you always were. You just have that can't commit to anything sort of vibe, you know? Anyway, our contestant has chosen to date Veras Saric. Thanks. The floor of your booth slides open and waves of roasting heat smash against your flesh. Yeah, this is not going to be good for me. You drop into a furnace of molten metal and fuel. Your skin crackles, blackens, splitting as the hair on your body incinerates into ash before you can even begin to register the pain. Your lungs collapse as the heat bores through your screaming throat. Your fat crackles and spits. The molten slag pours down your throat, fills your ears. Every bit of soft tissue within squeals as your fluids are flash boiled to steam. Your bones begin to cook and darken, and suddenly the slag hardens. Your body is frozen, trapped within still cooling steel, your eyes pierced by sharp clusters of iron and coke. Coke? What? Oil is splashed onto your form, hissing against the heat within. Over the torment, you feel the impact of a hammer bending the metal, forging you into the shape of a weapon, a suit of armor, a tower of iron chains. Everything coalesces into a single brick. Your mind finally lets go. You land in a sweaty heap on warm, rugged stone. Burning braziers illuminate your surroundings. I see you. What's that? Ah! I missed what the thing said, though. Sorry. Murals and glyphs inlaid with copper glint in the flickering light of the flames. An archway stands in front of you, the doorway leading into black shadows. Embers and cinders dance around. The air is smothering, and you haven't stopped sweating since you arrived. It's like you're standing in an oven. The heat is almost unbearable. You hear nothing but the crackle of the fire. Absolutely nothing. Not even wind. Until you hear something coming from the archway, a faint glimmer of light in the shadow. As the light gets closer and brighter, you begin to make out a tall figure. Someone is coming. Ha! You chose me? Wild. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. The light is coming from what you can only describe as a hyena woman made of fire. You got guts. Rows of bright fangs gleam as she licks her lips. I like that. Yay! Personal growth! And that's all of them. What does it mean, though? Alright, I don't know what it is about y'all wanting me to work out, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. Oh no, the contestant has passed on Veras Saric. They probably think they're too good for Vera, that they don't need to improve themselves. The opposite. I know I'm horrible, and I will stay this way forever. I think pretty much everyone agrees that this is just not the case. This contestant needs work. A lot of it. And they clearly aren't going to do it themselves. Look at those doughy eyes, the limp hair, the dried lips, the waxy skin, the shriveled muscles, the racing heart, the flop sweat, the stained sweatpants, the generally poor fashion sense, the lack of excitement in everything they do. Do you even go outside? Go touch grass once in a while, you little freak. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is a returning crowd favorite, the Witch King of Nirvana himself, Lobo Roso. All right. A survivor of an era before time was born, Lo prides himself on an active lifestyle that's helped maintain his flexibility in more ways than one. He's been devoted to his work for the past few years, dealing with the rebellion of traitorous acolytes who tried to usurp his throne. But now that he's done tearing the bones out of their still living bodies and erecting a monument of agony to their foolishness out of said bones, and invoked several years of castigations on the rest of the acolytes, He's looking for a devoted partner to become their Archon, help run the kingdom, put down further rebellions, and relax for a few centuries in peace and hedonism. So, contestant, will you YASS or pass on Lobo Roso? Absolutely, we're gonna YASS. We'll squish these rebellions. We got your back. Our contestant has said yes to Lobo Roso. That's just fantastic. This sniveling little worm has completely ignored the suffering of an entire kingdom and taken their place as a kowtowing little toady to the throne without even so much as an ounce of hesitation. We'll be taking bets on whether or not they'll survive the next rebellion now that they're the public face of oppression. And I can say the odds aren't in their favor. Contestants, you have chosen to date Lobo Roso. Bye! The floor of your booth slides open, and a cold wave of air rushes past you. A yellowish ooze surrounds your ankles, and you begin to slip slowly into the slime. Your struggles and cries are met with raucous applause, the roar of the audience eventually becoming muffled by the slime as your head slips under. It's cold, with hard clots and strings of matter coalescing onto your skin. You hold your breath for as long as you can, but the pressure builds as you slip deeper and deeper. You try to swim up, the slime wrapping around your limbs, but it's useless. You're out of air. Your eyes burn, your skin burns, you're aflame with a melting sting, as if your body is dissolving into nothingness. You gasp sharply as you wake up on a warm sandstone floor. The air is hot and dry. All around you shifts the scent of spices and flowers. You stand and survey your surroundings. I'm looking at these little shapes up here. I can't click on them though. But, oh. Almost every corner of the room is gilded with polished metal, some walls seeming to be made entirely of beaten copper and brass. Thick woven tapestries hang from the ceiling, braziers of incense swaying gently in the breeze coming from a large circular window. Flowers of all sorts adorn the room, sitting in bronze vases. Petals and pollen decorate the lush carpeting. You peer out the window. A desert at sunset, or maybe sunrise, stretches ahead of you. Huge rock formations jut into the skyline, with lights betraying entire cities carved into their face. The wind tussles your hair, causing the sheer curtains to wrap around you for a moment as you move them aside. Beautiful, isn't it? Of course, such a sight is only elevated by your presence. Stop. Lobo Roso reclines on an opulently cushioned throne, a fur-lined robe slipping lazily off his shoulders as he idly toys with the metal mask in one hand. He licks his lips, dark eyes sliding from your toes to eyes. Come closer. I think you and I are both eager to get to know each other better. Lobo Roso, you little slut. Sorry, Lobo Roso, I don't want to be hunted down by zealots that want to take revenge for your giant statue you made out of bones of the people you killed, so. Our contestant has said no to Lo. What a disappointment, but that's to be expected. While we couldn't possibly assume the specifics of why the contestant passed, we can only assume it's from a crippling, cowardly streak and flat laziness. They're probably avoiding any position of responsibility in helping manage the kingdom, preferring to be a leech to their partner and let them do the heavy lifting. Yes, exactly. You act like this is a problem. Of course, snubbing the Witch King isn't a smart move itself, what with his cabal of dread assassins. I understand they take slights against their king very personally. But that's a problem for the contestant to deal with after the show. Let's move on to our next potential partner. Our next potential partner is Helicon. Helicon is an interdimensional explorer from the tangent, the point at which all time coalesces and becomes a single point of reality, where everything that ever was, is, and will be converge. They're looking for an adventurous and outgoing partner who enjoys staying active and exploring the unknown. This is not me. Helicon has even designed a special suit that helps them maintain their form in dimensions where the laws of physics are less open-minded. What with their normal form being an 8-foot-tall swirling mass of liquid black holes in raw chrono slime. Helicon enjoys hiking, bouldering, diving, and exploration of any kind. They've written several books on interdimensional travel and the risks and rewards of their journey. We know the books as the Doomsday Psycho Codex, a perfect choice for a cozy evening by the fireplace. So, contestant, will you YASS or pass on Helicon? I'm scared for my physical well-being, but here we go. Sure. Oh, yes. Our contestant is making the decision to dive headfirst into the deep end of reality for a shot at love. And of course, being a newly fledged interdimensional explorer, they are permanently marked with the brand of Yo-He-Ho. No longer protected by the veil of reality, the brand marks them as a traitor to the sacred geometry that binds the universe and all our dimensions together. Uh-oh. Those within the void spaces between worlds will now always know the exact position in space, time, and beyond of the contestant. I doubt our contestant will be able to outrun even the most basic of eviscerator swarms, but who knows, maybe they'll luck out and die to something faster. No turning back now, as our contestant has chosen to date Helicon. I take it back. The floor of your booth slides open and you are immediately skewered by swords and daggers. Before you can even scream, your throat is cut and the air escapes in a bloody spray of flapping skin. You slide through the sharpened edges, your skin peeled off by 1,000 cuts. 1,000 more fillet your muscles and free your veins. You are reduced to a tumbling pile of cutlets and bone. But still they cut further, scraping the nerves off cartilage, hollowing out bones, your organs diced into cubes. You are reduced into nothing but a sliding stew of tender morsels, greased by your own fat and marrow. You drop onto sharp rocks, scraping your elbows. All you can hear are screams. You clap your hands to your ears to try and shut the piercing shriek out, but it cuts through. You stumble, disoriented. A neon red light washes over you for a moment. The piercing screams grow louder, burrowing into your skull. The light? It's coming from a gargantuan floating ruby in the distance. Beams of bloody light sweep across the sickly white stone. You see? The screaming surges again and you drop to your knees. Blood runs between your fingers. You see carvings, statues, stone structures carved into the pale stone. All around, all abandoned. The howls come in waves, whipping across the rock. Your vision swims. You begin to feel nauseous as the screaming begins to dig through your body. Your head throbs. The screaming stops, simply vanishes from your hearing. You're greeted by silence and the sound of something approaching behind you. Okay, this is backwards. Take your time. The catacombs of Gel can take years off your life, but don't worry, you weren't exposed for too long. A tall, rather stout humanoid in what could almost pass for a deep-sea diving suit stands a few feet away. Waves of energy shimmer out in a halo around them. Let's go to my camp. I can get out of this suit and we can talk face to face. Will I survive talking face to face with you, though? I guess so. What do I do with this? What do I do? Alright, well that was terrifying. No, I'm okay now. Oh, that's such a shame. Helicon was looking for a deeply fulfilling and spiritual connection, and our contestant is one of those slut types. Yes, again, you say this like it's a bad thing. You know, just a bit hoary, but without any of the respect actual sex workers deserve. That's all right, dear. We'll still be here judging you, despite all the downsides of being near you. Especially downwind of you. And here's the kicker. That was our last potential partner. That's right, Candy. I've been trying to contain my disappointment with this contestant, but I just can't anymore. 13 amazing contestants. 13! And this waste of space said no to all of them. What arrogance. Why did you even come here, contestant, if you were just gonna pass everyone up? Too scared to even make a choice? Listen, I did not come here. I did not come here. I was tooken. You tooked me here. Worried that you wouldn't get the best outcome? Well, I suppose it could be worse. Thanks for wasting our time. You can't pick winners all the time, eh, folks? Well, I still had fun, Eros. We got to see what rock bottom looked like and be grateful that it wasn't any of us who reached it. Right as usual, Candy. It almost seems like the contestant doesn't want to be here. Selfish and self-centered. I didn't think there was much of a distinction between the two, but here we are. Don't worry, folks. There's always next week. As always, thank you for watching, darlings. We hope to see you again on YASS or Pass! Thanks for being a total shit contestant. You're welcome. Can I get out? Picky contestant offloading. Ooh! Okay, well, they won't let you back in. No, Mr. Grub, they won't. Apply some pressure. Get creative. How? Oh. Or I can leave. We're gonna apply some pressure. Ugh. Fuck you, guy. Contestant dump site. Nah, here we go. Here we go. Let's fucking do it. Let's go. Check inside or find me. Oh, interesting. Should we check inside? Let's check inside. Stop wasting time. I'm waiting for you. I'm sorry. Hey, dipshit, stop guessing. Security is called if you put the code in wrong 3 times. Fuck you. Carper, we know it's you. HR just wants to talk. Fuck HR. I don't know the... Oh, fuck. Fuck. It's the order of the symbols. This is the... Nobody told me. This is what it was going to be used for. Nobody said anything. Damn it. Okay. I gotta go back because I don't know what this fucking password is. All right. Okay, so let's see here. So it has a right arrow, which I'm assuming would be this guy? But it's pointing this way. And the picture is pointing to the right. Or I guess that's for y'all for that way. And then this guy. And then this guy. And then this one. And then this one. So this is the order that it's in. But they're oriented differently. This one's the same. This one's different. That one's the same. That one's the same. So it's just these that are different. So what the fuck does that mean? All of them also have slashes on them. But what does that have to do with it? All right, well, I guess let's try the obvious. We can go by sides, right? So triangle has 3. I don't know what the fuck that is. Nonogram. And then a square. And then an octagon. And then another triangle. Oh, it's only 4. Well, fuck. Maybe we'll try something dumb. Okay. Guess it was too dumb. Okay, so this obviously has to do with that door that we found when we ran out of our pod, right? Where the guy was like, come find me. And you've got the little special door there. And that door is color-coded, and he said that there was 5 that offered gifts, and we will be the 6th. And there's 5 of those little dudes. I'm just looking at them on my phone. So there's 5 of those people. Okay, and the first one, she's got like bleeding in her mouth, so maybe she offered like her tongue. Because I don't know if you remember, but there was text that was like, well, you offer your lungs and your heart and your eyes and your head and, you know, stuff like that. So, tongue. The second one's got an X on her chest, so maybe she offered heart. And then the third one has the thing on his eye, so he offered the eyes. Fourth one has his split down the middle of his head, so maybe the brain. And then the 5th one has the line across the neck. So the head? But what does that mean? What does it mean? Because there's only 4 digits. There's 5. Oh my god. It just didn't let me put it. Okay, so 5 digits, right? We have to know what numbers each of them stand for. And then you can see there's like numbers on each of the people, right? So there's an 8 in the hip of the 5th person. There's a 7 on the armpit of the 1st person. So is there just like little hidden numbers on everything and I need to find all the numbers? Does it have to do with the body part that they offered to this person? Does it have to do with the shapes that they're holding? I'm too damn dumb for doing shit like this. The amount of time I have just spent agonizing over this because I thought it was a 4-digit when it was a 5. So I was like, well, what if I try the sides again? Why am I so dumb? Okay. We're almost together. Flesh willing, the 6th has come. Hello, Mr. Amal. Mr. Keds. 5 before. The flesh has sought, we meet with open arms. Good one, a good one, not of the 5, the 6th, the look. Is the flesh ready? Yes? Good, 6 will prepare a good 6th. 5 before gave of the flesh a gift and offering, a sacrifice, a tribute, a dowry. Take and give, take and give. Give of yourself. What will you sacrifice as a dowry? My voice? But without my voice, how can I? You have your looks, your face. Okay. My voice, I guess. Tastes so sweet, tastes so bright, the wine of your flesh. A quick cut is best. Pull hard, bite down, don't drown. But didn't somebody already give their tongue? What the fuck does that mean? Oh, thanks. What? Okay, I'm gonna go in again and see what happens if I run instead of giving them my voice. Okay, so what if I say no? My flesh is not willing. Flesh unwilling is still flesh. You're already here. There's no going back. This is what you wanted. Give of yourself. I don't want to. I'm gonna run away. There's no running. This is what you wanted. Why else did you come here? I want to run. Run away. It does not matter. Can't run away. Okay. Well, that was YASS or pass too. What the fuck? I'm so confused. But in a good way. Like, this still makes me want more. More game, more story, more dating opportunities, more roasts by Eros, because he is a fucking savage. If you want to play the game for yourself, it is $1 on Itch.io, and you can also join the Patreon to try and fund more story for this, because I need to know what the fuck. What was that? I don't like being left with that. I didn't like it. Anyways, I hope you had as much fun as I did, because it was... Love these games. Anyone that tells you that you need to give them your tongue as a dowry is not a respectable person to be around. And I will see you later.